iHeartRadio app.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and more for a child in poverty. And there are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year and their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
Is this the tackle?
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers snapped a 3-game losing streak last night. They beat Minnesota 5-1 at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers got 2 home runs from catcher Will Smith and 1 by Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani now has 35 homers this season. The Angels had a 4-0 lead last night in New York against the Mets but couldn't hold it. They lost 7-5. The Angels had chances to put the Mets away. They left 8 men on base. The LA Sparks are back in action tonight after the WNBA All-Star break. They're in Washington, D.C. to take on the Mystics. The Sparks are aiming for their first 3-game winning streak this season. If you're a fan of Southern California rapper Tyler, the Creator, you'll see LeBron in the video promoting his new song, Stop Playing With Me. The song and video dropped on Monday. Also in the video is LeBron's business manager, Maverick Carter. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. And I thank you, thank you.
You want my love and you can't deny. You know it's true, but you try to hide. Yeah. You turn down love like it's really bad. Ow. You can't give what you never had. Yeah. Well, bless your soul, you can fool a few. I know the truth, not so do you. How? You can't hide. I bet you. Betcha. Can't hide love. Well, I bet you. I can't hide.
I'm Tavis, Smiley. Glad to have you with us in this third and final hour of our program today. What an amazing show it has been so far. We started this show in tribute to Malcolm Jamal Warner. Hope you appreciated that reprise of my last public conversation with Malcolm Jamal. And what an amazing conversation with former Congressman Patrick Kennedy. A lot of good stuff in that hour, and I'm grateful to him for coming on. One final great hour today. In this hour, 2 conversations on the B side of this hour, just ahead of this weekend's induction ceremony at Cooperstown. Hall of Fame shortstop for the St. Louis Cardinals, Ozzie Smith. Love that backflip. Ozzie Smith on the Smithsonian an exhibit he helped to create called The Souls of the Game, Voices of Black Baseball. So we'll talk to a Hall of Famer on the B side of this hour. We commenced this hour, though, with Ty Floyd from Alabama A&M on her dream job as the first full-time female voice for an HBCU football program starting with the season opener against Arkansas next month. Ty, congratulations. Good to have you on this program. How are you today?
Thank you so much. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
If I complained, I'd be an ingrate. I'm doing okay, all things considered, but I'm delighted to be in conversation with you. So before I get to this history-making moment that you are at the epicenter of, just take a moment. I mean, we got time. You got canvas. You can paint as you will. Tell me about your backstory. Tell me about Ty Floyd.
Oh my gosh. Well, to sit here and describe myself, it's something I didn't really recognize and know until just recently. I mean, of course, people would say now I'm a history maker, I'm a great journalist, but above all things, I'm a woman of God. I'm a believer in God. I am a great person, honestly, because I strive to be every single day. Yeah. I'm a hard worker and I'm very tenacious. So that's just a little bit about who Ty Floyd is, but I was born in San Francisco, California, okay. raised in Florida, and now I am an almost 2-time HBCU grad.
Wow. How did sports become your thing?
Sports became my thing because I was born into it. Mm-hmm. My father played in the National Football League. And growing up, I was always around the game. Mm-hmm. I have an older brother named Andrew who played baseball. And then I have a younger brother named Jaden who played football. He actually played at Florida State following in Dad's footsteps. And mm-hmm. I played sports throughout grade school, but being a 5'10" center isn't really ideal in today's game. Yeah. So I knew that going into college and making a decision on where I wanted to go, I knew that I wanted to be involved with sports, and it was either going to be in medicine or it was going to be in journalism. And I chose journalism because I felt like it was my calling. It was my gift. And that's how I got into what I'm doing now.
Yeah. So take me back to the early days of your broadcasting career. Where did you start?
I started at Florida A&M. I really like to say I started in high school because I had a teacher who really believed in me. Mm-hmm. Tim Blazik. He would come with me to all of our high school games. The girls played before the boys, so I would go into the locker room and change and then come out and be sports reporter, and he'd be there just helping me with my voice, my diction, my tone, my storytelling, the questions I asked, mm-hmm. and also would record and edit it for me. And so I sent it over to Florida A&M, and they were very, I would say, surprised that someone at the high school level possessed that kind of talent. And so I decided to go to Florida A&M, who has produced so many heavy hitters. And just on the sports side, obviously Pam Oliver, the GOAT, the legend, mm-hmm. and Tiffany Green. So my freshman year, I tried to check out a camera, but upperclassmen were given the priority. And my dad came up the next weekend. My dad has worked for Florida State for nearly over 20 years. Mm-hmm. And he was like, get everything you need, everything you feel like you need to be successful. And so I did. And I dragged that camera everywhere with me and got all kinds of content and really built myself up.
Yeah. I love this story. I love the backstory. We ain't heard the whole story yet, but I just love the backstory. Ty Floyd is the first full-time female voice of an HBCU football program. We'll talk about that part when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Generous listening. Charitable listening. It's why everybody wants to talk to Tavis. The conversation continues when we come forward.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
All I need is one mic. With the KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Recently, I listened to a Tavis Smiley show conversation with James Farr. At one point, James said something that caught me off guard, not because it wasn't true, but because it is. Black Altadena is gone. I know it may seem stupid and non-productive, but I stopped in that moment listening to Tavis and James. I broke down and cried. In the back of my mind, I told myself we can bring it back like it was. But James Farr's reality check hit me like a ton of bricks. My community is being murdered. I said murdered, not by the Altadena Eaton Canyon fire, but by the people we elect to protect us, and by greedy and gatekeeping nonprofits who cannot see the forest for the trees. For the first time since the fire, I truly feel and understand my wife's inconsolable pain. Because I'm struggling to find a path to recovery and at least some form of normalcy. My community is crumbling right in front of my face. Lack of funding to rebuild is slowly destroying us. Many of us can no longer hold out, and developers are gobbling up our property. When I hear voices like Tavis Smiley and James Farr speak truth to power on KBLA Talk 1580, it reminds me that we're not crazy, just unheard. Make no mistake here, KBLA delegation, this is war, and we the people of Black Altadena are losing. It's like waiting for reparation. Not gonna happen, brother. In this new orange man world, no one, no entity is persuaded by right or wrong. There is no consequence for doing the wrong thing, and no accolades or support for doing the right thing. Will war-torn Black Altadena survive? Your guess is as good as mine. But what have I got to lose? I'm in my 70s and don't have time to wait. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once suggested that riots break out when people have no hope. But there's nothing left to burn down in Altadena. I wish I could say I remain hopeful that my beloved community will rise again like a phoenix from the ashes. I wish I could. With a KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Pasadena Community Coalition at gmail.com. Reach out to me. As always, we welcome your feedback.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed with Ty Floyd, who is the first full-time female voice of an HBCU football program at Alabama A&M. They got their first game coming up next month, and so Ty's about to get busy. I want to ask about your process in a second here, but I'll get to that part though. I assume you've covered most all sports, or has it mostly been football, Ty?
I've covered basketball, baseball. I actually did 3 PGA stops in 2023.
Wow.
A very interesting experience, but it was really cool to go to those competitions. And then, yes, of course, football.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite to cover?
Football, of course. I'm a football girl through and through. I joke with my dad all the time, like, oh, I should have been the boy because I'm the only girl. So I tell him all the time, man, I should have been the boy. We'd be sitting on millions right now.
I love it. So tell me, I'm not asking you to give away any trade secrets, but tell me your process. So just walk me through this. So you have a game coming up. You got a football game coming up. You're going to call this game. We don't see this stuff, obviously, on television. We see the announcers when they show up for game day, but just give me a sense of what your process is preparing for game day.
Absolutely. I mean, my situation is so unique because at Alabama A&M, I'm with those guys every single day. And ever since there were rumblings about me taking this position, the coaches and the players have embraced me so much, and they've been my biggest cheerleaders. And so I get with them and we talk about plays, zones, schemes, coverages, all of the intricacies of football. We talk about the other teams. We've been studying Arkansas, what they do, what they don't do, and putting it all in my broadcast notes so that I can talk about it on air. And then, of course, the storytelling. We have so many great storylines surrounding this season at Alabama A&M. And then because of my relationships that I've made in HBCU football, other coaches know that I'm about my business, so there's no bias. I'm not out here telling nobody's secrets, but I want to make sure that I have a good broadcast and both sides are represented exceptionally well, because I know what it's like to go to an HBCU and matriculate and know that some of our media counterparts honestly aren't beating down the door to give these guys the coverage that they deserve. And I never want to miss the mark on that. So that's my preparation.
Yeah. Tell me about the time you spend preparing those broadcast notes. How many hours a week do you typically put in for a game?
It's pretty difficult at this point because I am also a student finishing up my second degree at Alabama A&M University. I'm getting my master's in communications. And so I'm typically in the office from about 9 o'clock, floating around different coaches' offices, sitting in on their meetings as they prepare and talk about the games. And then I sit in the different position meetings, especially offensive line. I feel like it's such an important position that's undervalued. And that's where the game starts, obviously. So I love sitting in on all of the meetings, gathering all the notes that I can. I'll go to class, go grab lunch, come right back and do it all over again the next day. Right now, I've definitely been preparing for Arkansas just because with this news breaking, I know how big this opportunity is for me to get myself out there. But not only that, it's a big opportunity for our team to be watched on such a big scale.
Yep. So I'm just thinking about all the pressure that you're under right about now. Do you feel it? You don't sound like you're under pressure, but I know but you are. You have to be.
I'm definitely feeling the pressure a little bit more nowadays. When the news dropped, I knew that it was going to be big and exciting, but this has kind of grown into a life of its own. And I've had to tell myself that this is historic. I mean, for me, it's work. It's me finally getting an opportunity. And when we talk about my background, I didn't really talk about the fact that I worked 3 part-time jobs to be able to have enough money to go out on the weekends and cover these events. I mean, literally dressing up in an inflatable ice cream suit and standing on the corner. A lot of people don't know that about me. So for me to be in this position now and finally see the fruits of my labor come to harvest is amazing. I'm not feeling pressure or nervous about my capabilities and what I know I can do. Just making sure that my university feels well represented, that women in sports feel well represented, that my mentors know they did a good work in me, and that the little babies that are watching me, the young women who have come up and told me just how much they admire me or how much I'm inspiring them, I want them to be proud.
Yeah. You mentioned Pam Oliver earlier, and I'm thinking of the growing number of women who are covering sports in college and at the professional level. But talk to me about being a woman and who you have listened to and watched over the years.
Absolutely. I would say that Pam Oliver is at the forefront. When I was enrolling at Florida A&M, they were unveiling a hall in our journalism school named after her, so she was there. And we got to sit there and listen to her and listen to all her insight. And it was a dream come true for someone like me who has watched her for so long. And the knowledge and the wisdom that she dropped is something that I've carried along with me. And we've had quite a few encounters, from her coming back to campus and hosting a workshop to me being a part of Laura Oakman's, another amazing person in my life who has done so much for me, being a part of her organization, and also seeing Pam Oliver get inducted into the Florida Sports Hall of Fame, and then my dad getting inducted a few years later, and she was interviewing him. All of these amazing instances, and her even making me cry because she told me that she was proud of me. So her impact, not just on me, but on broadcast itself and the door she's opened for women, is so momentous. And I'm so grateful to experience women like her, Tiffany Green, who was the first Black woman to call football games play-by-play at the network level, Laura Oakman, Tiffany Blackman, Larisha Harris, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Tell me how this came to be. We jumped in this conversation so quickly. I could have started here, but it's okay. The backstory for how you became the choice for Alabama A&M. Tell me that story.
Yeah, I went through a lot of different phases in my career on things that I wanted to do or thought I wanted to do. And because of my relationships that I've made in HBCU football, knowing how to work a room and definitely knowing how to talk, never being at a loss for words. I ended up meeting Paul A. Bryant, who was our athletic director, Dr. Paul A. Bryant, and then also Coach Jason Mai. And Coach Mai and I were talking, and I said, like, to me, it wasn't jest, but I was like, if you ever want to diversify your staff and add more women in the building, I would love to come up there and be a GA. I had been praying, hoping, wishing that I would get an opportunity to get my master's degree. And literally 2 weeks later, he called me and he was like, yeah, so this is what Dr. Bryant said, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. And so that's how I came up there, and I started out in digital media, enhancing our social medias, which we actually won Sports Information Department of the Year. So that was such an amazing thing for us to be able to do, grew our social media engagements, followers, all of those things. But I always wanted to do play-by-play, and I made sure that I let everyone who had an ear know that's what I wanted to do. And when the opportunity became available, they said, "Are you ready?" And I said, absolutely. And that's how the opportunity came about.
What is this love affair you have? Obviously, I've been at this a long time, and there are all kinds of roles that one can play behind the microphone. Play-by-play is a unique lane unto itself. What so fascinates you about play-by-play?
Oh my gosh, I just love the game. I think that being able to talk about sports, especially in depth, and for me, I'll be starting out in radio, so it's a different level. For radio, you have to paint a picture of what people cannot see.
That's right.
For TV, you are telling them, you're describing what they already see. And by being able to do that and talk about the game in depth, I felt like when I was doing sideline is a very thankless job. You have to get storylines, hits. If you have something that's not evergreen, it goes away, and you literally have to keep pounding. A lot of people talk about sideline reporters and say, oh, they just do interviews, but people don't even know the half. Until you have that IFB in your ear, they don't know the half. So to be able to transition to play-by-play, still keeping the aspects of storytelling, still doing interviews, still making those connections, but being able to supplement the broadcast in a different way is something that I love and something that I'm so excited for. And it actually started with the CIAA asking me to do it for basketball. And then I transitioned to sideline later that week. And I was like, oh, I want to do play-by-play. I wish I was back over at the table. So that's where my fascination with it grew for sure.
Yeah, my sense is having done this myself over the course of my career, of course, you're going to be benefited greatly when you get a chance to call this game with Arkansas and all the games that will come after that. You're going to be benefited greatly by the fact that you have in fact experienced all these other positions, though, Ty. Because you've done the sideline stuff and you've done. I mean, you're going to be. It just adds to your repertoire once you get in the booth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's your family make of all this? You mentioned your father, of course, and your brothers. How's your family processing all of this history making that you're doing right about now?
My mom is she's so funny because she was like, I hear everything that you're saying, but when it lands on us, it's a completely different thing than what I felt like you said. And so I told her, like, I got this opportunity to go to Alabama A&M to do X, Y, and Z. And she was like, it didn't really hit me until you were packing up the car. And I was like, oh, girl, what do you mean? But then she also said that I've seen you on my social media 4 days. And I'm like, girl, yeah, and it's not stopping. It's not stopping at all. So everybody is very proud, very shocked. I too myself am shocked at how much attention and love that I've been getting. But it's so nice for my parents and my brothers my siblings. My little sister, she's a teenager, so she's kind of locked into whatever she got going on. But for everyone to be so proud of me, it's something that's amazing. My grandmother, Sue, she's from Thailand, which is why my name is Thai. And so for her to be able to see her legacy and see, the fruits of her immigrating from another country is beautiful. So it's amazing. My family is definitely shocked for sure.
Yeah. So tell me, let's get into the fun stuff now. Tell me about the Alabama A&M roster this year. What's the team going to be like this season?
Oh, I'm so excited for our team and just the dynamic because everything has changed. Sam Shade, who was our new head coach, was appointed in January. And ever since he's come in, it's been a new energy in the building. He has standards of excellence that all of these guys have bought into. And if they decided not to buy into it, well, needless to say, they're not there anymore. But one of the things that I'm most excited for is the guys that were brought with him from Miles University. Those guys were playing Division II ball. And, they say that if you're a dog, if you are good, they'll be able to find you from anywhere. And that's most definitely the case because we've seen Division II players go before. However, these guys never thought that they had the opportunity or the prospect of playing Division I football. So for them, the way that they walk around campus, the way that they work, the way that they come into the field house is different and it's new energy. We have our quarterback, Quad Brown, who's been at A&M for a couple years, is coming up on his last season. Dual sport athlete. He's very, very excited to be a leader of this team, and he's made sure that he was at the forefront of getting everyone acclimated as they continued to bring in, our transfers and also our freshmen. So it's exciting to be able to see this coaching staff has a wealth of knowledge and NFL experience from Dennis Alexander to Marco Coleman to Chris Schelling to Sam Shade himself. And so with all of these key components, I believe that Alabama A&M is going to be a contender, not just in the SWAC, but also for that Celebration Bowl title.
Yeah. And what do you know about Arkansas at this point?
Ooh, I mean, it's SEC ball.
Yeah, SEC, yeah.
It's SEC ball, so it's absolutely going to be tough. I mean, they're a very physical team. Gosh, I mean, it's been a lot of studying on them, but what I can truly say about Arkansas is that this is going to be no easy feat. I'm excited for our guys to be able to have this opportunity, though, because when you look at HBCU football players like your Titus Howards, your Shaquille Leonards, your Jacoby Durants, even your Carson Vincents, when you go on their Wikipedia pages, they always talk about how these guys had a big game against big schools. So for that aspect, I'm really excited for our guys. Carson Vincent just got drafted from Alabama A&M in the 5th round this year. And on his Wikipedia, they talk about his game against Vanderbilt, just how great he played. Yeah. That put him on the NFL's radar. And so I'm excited to see what kind of storylines come out after this game against Arkansas. But hey, to keep it short, it's going to be tough. They're a tough team.
Yep. Speaking of keeping it short, I got 60 seconds left here, and I want to give it all to you. This is history making as the first full-time female voice of an HBCU football program. What does it mean to be doing this, Ty Floyd, at an HBCU?
It means everything to me as an almost 2-time HBCU grad. I'm so excited to have this opportunity to be a manifestation of my ancestors' dreams and legacies, to be a beacon of light for women in sports, to stand on the shoulders of giants like Pam Oliver, Tiffany Green, Larisha Harris, Tiffany Blackman, and to hopefully pave my own legacy so that while we're enjoying me being the first, I certainly won't be the last.
As you can tell, she's ready. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And Ty Floyd is ready. She is a barrier breaker, and I have enjoyed immensely having her on this program. I cannot wait to see this game that she's going to call. Play-by-play, Alabama A&M and Arkansas. It's going to be a great day, a historic day for the Floyd family. And Ty Floyd, I am proud of you and honored to have had you on this program. All the best to you. Thank you for your time.
Thanks so much for having me.
My pleasure. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
Why does Tavis say when we come forward? Because he's not going back. And you don't have to go back either. Forward ever, backward never. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward. Forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Black D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser is brushing off President Trump's threat to block a stadium deal unless the Commanders revert to the Redskins name.
We need to complete our part so that we can start earning the tax revenue that will come when we deliver the Commanders Stadium.
Team owner Josh Harris says the name's not changing. President Trump vows to immediately appeal and win if a judge rules against his freeze on over $2.5 billion in Harvard research funding. The Justice Department says the school must align with federal priorities. Harvard calls it retaliation. And a top Louisiana health advocate says rural hospitals aren't in danger from Medicaid cuts. Jeff Reynolds of the Rural Hospital Coalition says the Big Beautiful Bill includes a $50 billion fund, with Louisiana set to receive up to $150 million a year for rural care. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and more for a child in poverty. And there are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year and their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
Is this the This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers snapped a 3-game losing streak last night. They beat Minnesota 5-1 at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers got 2 home runs from catcher Will Smith and one by Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani now has 35 homers this season. The Angels had a 4-0 lead last night in New York against the Mets but couldn't hold it. They lost 7-5. The Angels had chances to put the Mets away. They left 8 men on base. The LA Sparks are back in action tonight after the WNBA All-Star break. They're in Washington, D.C. to take on the Mystics. The Sparks are aiming for their first 3-game winning streak this season. If you're a fan of Southern California rapper Tyler, the Creator, you'll see LeBron in the video promoting his new song, Stop Playing With Me. The song and video dropped on Monday. Also in the video is LeBron's business manager, Maverick Carter. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we aim to foster enlightening, sustainable, restorative dialogue, and we welcome unapologetically progressive viewpoints that empower fellow citizens. We are now accepting submissions for KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorials like this one.
With the KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Recently, I listened to a Tavis Smiley show conversation with James Farr. James said something that caught me off guard. Black Altadena is gone. My community is being murdered. I said murdered.
All you have to do is go to our website homepage at KBLA1580.com and click on the icon that says KBLA Guest Editorials to learn more about our editorial standards and content submission guidelines. As long as the topic aligns with our mission, we are happy to review your submission and consider it for broadcast. We can't make any promises, but we want to amplify progressive perspectives that are community-focused and solution-oriented. So, go to KBLA1580.com right now to download all the information you need about our guest editorials. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know? The United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time. Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, Minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
And the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
You are indeed, and we are ending this show on a high note. I appreciated that conversation with with Floyd about being the first female voice for an HBCU football program at Alabama A&M. They're getting ready for their big game, season opener with Arkansas, and that sister is ready for this historic moment, again, being the first female voice calling HBCU football at any program, and she happens to be, and they were blessed to have her at Alabama A&M. We close this program today just ahead of this weekend's induction ceremony at Cooperstown with Hall of Fame shortstop for the St. Louis Cardinals, Ozzie Smith. I used to love watching me some Ozzie Smith. We'll talk about this Smithsonian exhibit that he helped to create called The Souls of the Game, Voices of Black Baseball. But before we get to that, just a little taste of Ozzie Smith at his Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
The first thing I want to talk about is the core of this baseball. This little cork pill, as some would call it, weighs less than an ounce. But when you look at its role in baseball history, this is where it all began. Likewise, it also represents the core of my quest. It is the genesis of any great journey or challenge that one embraces. You see, all great journeys begin with a dream. A dream of what one might do, a vision of what one might become, a specter of potential greatness and achievement within one's mind. Ironically, that's exactly what the Scarecrow wanted most from the Wizard of Oz. A mind so that he could think and dream. The core of my journey to baseball's Hall of Fame was a dream that took shape in my heart one day while sitting as a child on the front steps of our home. I remember I was exhausted from playing yet another game of Annie, Annie Over. However, unlike a lot of other kids who played this game, I didn't have someone on the other side eager to catch the ball. I would throw the ball up toward the peak of the roof and run around to the other side in hopes of catching it myself. And if any of you are wondering, no, I never did, but it never stopped me from trying. That was the day, on those front steps at the age of 12, that Ozzie Smith determined it was about time to decide what he was going to do with the rest of his life. That was the day I started dreaming about becoming a professional baseball player.
Ozzie Smith, an honor, sir, to have you on this program. How are you today?
Tavis, it's great to be with you. I'm doing great today. And, let me say before we get started here, I've always admired you from a distance, and it is truly an honor and a pleasure to be able to sit and visit with you today.
Man, that gives me goosebumps. You have no idea the number of times that I watched you, those amazing feats on the field. I don't talk about this often. I think I probably wrote about it in my memoir. But I had dreams of being a first baseman in the major leagues. It obviously didn't happen. God had something else for me to do. But I loved playing baseball. I grew up in Indiana, and so at the time I was growing up, I was a fan of the Big Red Machine. In Cincinnati, of course. But I used to love watching you, and again, just an amazing player. And so to hear that Ozzie Smith even knows who I am makes me.
The world knows that.
Oh man, it makes me feel special to know that Ozzie Smith knows me. Tell me about what you have. What do you make of the fact? And I wanted to play that taste of your speech because I love that particular section where you talked about sitting on those steps. What do you make of this dream that you had and being able to make it come true?
Well, Tavis, for a lot of kids, especially growing up in South Central Los Angeles, like I did, we lived through the riots and all of that stuff. And, for myself and a lot of guys who have gone on to become great Major League Baseball players, as a matter of fact, Eddie Murray and I played together in high school, the only two high school teammates to make the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
I think our dream was to be able to do something that was going to allow our families a better life. For most of us, if we failed, it meant our family failed. So it wasn't just about us making it and being successful. It was about doing it for our family because we knew that it was a way out. Pretty much the way it is now for kids in the Dominican Republic, kids in Puerto Rico. You got to live it. You got to breathe it. You got to taste it. It has to become a part of your being.
Yeah.
And knowing that that's part of the incentive to continue to strive to be the very best that you could be. Now, here again, growing up in Southern California, we could be very impatient and stuff too. I never got drafted out of high school. Eddie did. And Eddie went straight to the Baltimore Orioles. I think it was 1973 when he got drafted. And I went to a little small school in Central California. And I always explain this to people is that our roads to the big leagues are different. We're not all bonus babies. I certainly was not a bonus baby. I played 4 years at Cal Poly at San Luis Obispo. During the summer, I was sent out to a program, and the town that I went to was a little town called Clarinda, Iowa. Sweet corn, and I worked during the day and played baseball at night. And actually, I worked the jackhammer, and my dream really came to fruition in the summer of 1976, where I got drafted by the Detroit Tigers. The Detroit Tigers offered me $8,500, and I had finished 3 years of my schooling, and I had promised my mom I was going to get my education. So in my infinite wisdom, Tavis, I said to myself, if they don't give you 10 grand, they're not going to take a real good look at you. So not many college seniors get drafted. So I went back to school in hopes of getting drafted again my senior year, which I did by the San Diego Padres. And being the good businessman that I am, I signed for $5,000 and a bus ticket to Walla Walla, Washington, where I started my professional career. So we heard all those guys that got a lot of money when they got drafted, but it was a road that taught me a lot of things. It taught me patience. It taught me endurance. It taught me how to make sure that I was always prepared when a situation presented itself. And that was pretty much the same message that my mom taught me as a kid.
Yeah. Since you went there, I want to follow you right quick. I'm watching my time. I want to get to this Smithsonian piece in a second here. But just say a quick word. I was talking to Dusty Baker not too long ago, and he and I traversed some of this terrain. But talk to me briefly here, Ozzie, about how you feel being an African American. You mentioned all those other countries, and I ain't hating on nobody, but there aren't as many black folk, African Americans in baseball as there was when you played.
Well, certainly. And I think that's been kind of a quagmire for all of us trying to figure out how are we going to change that. I was just doing a thing with big brothers and big sisters at the ballpark yesterday. And Tavis, it was really kind of sad because some of these kids, when they came to my station, had never picked up a glove. They didn't even know, whether they were right-handed or left-handed. And it just brought up so many memories of me as a kid. And the thing that I talked to them about was the fact that as a kid, we spent a lot of time outside. So we certainly knew which arm we could throw. It might not have been very good, but we knew what arm we could throw with.
Right.
But some of these kids today are not exposed to a lot of the things that the only things that we had to do as kids was be outside and play. And I think that has a lot to do with computers and cell phones. There was one kid there, I was playing catch with him, and he had his cell phone in one hand trying trying to catch. And I said, son, we've got to put the cell phone down if we're going to get this done, But there's a lot of work to be done as far as getting kids, or African-American kids, involved again.
Yeah.
I think the best way to do that, or the only way that I see now that we can do it and do it with an impact, is through HBCUs.
Mm-hmm.
Young kids that have aspirations to play in the big leagues. I think it's through programs like HBCUs that you're going to be able to get those numbers up. I don't know how much we're going to be able to get them up because, as I mentioned, teams go over to the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, and they are able to set up camps without a lot of red tape.
Yeah.
As opposed to over here. And sometimes going into an area to try and find that particular player becomes a challenge for a lot of the people who are termed scouts or people that are looking for young African-American players.
Yeah. No, use the right word, Ozzie. It is a quagmire, but one I hope that we can figure out sooner than later, because I hate to imagine this game into the future without more people like Ozzie Smith. The Smithsonian exhibition is called The Souls of the Game, Voices of Black Baseball. He helped put it together. We'll talk about it when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Hope, agency, dignity. This is Tavis Smiley.
Can you dig it? Come on!
Why thank you? Yeah.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you, thank you.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
1455 Frazee, San Diego. CordellCordell.com.
freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Hall of Famer Ozzie Smith. My time is getting tired of me. So, Ozzie, tell me about this exhibition, The Souls of the Game, Voices of Black Baseball.
Well, it's always trying to maintain, as we talked about, to not let this thing die. So the Voices of the Game is certainly one of the ways that we can keep people abreast and educated as to the important role that we as African Americans have played in this great game. The numbers are low right now, but back in the day, it was all about the entertainment value that we as African Americans brought to this wonderful sport. And I think that what we've attempted to do here is make sure that people don't forget what an important part we've been to the progression of this great game.
Yep. This may be an impossible question, but if anybody can handle it, Ozzie Smith can. What is your sense of what black folk, black players have in fact brought to the game of baseball since you went there, Ozzie? Well,
it's the class, the intensity, the level of play. When we look back at the greats of the game, Hank Aaron probably exemplified exactly what this game was all about. Someone who came from Mobile, Alabama. The story of him jumping on that train and his mom giving him a bag lunch and going off, not knowing exactly what was going to transpire. And, his drive and his determination, Jackie Robinson. There's so many people that have been a part of this journey for us, that Jackie being the one that afforded us all of the opportunity to display our wares and our abilities. And I think that if given the opportunity, I think we've proven that if given the opportunity, we can really flourish in whatever it is that we choose to do. And certainly from a Black perspective, these were people.
Well, we lost
as we've gone forward. I just kind of I have to thank the people that have endured all of the hardships.
Yeah.
Especially people like Jackie, who was probably, they say, the best person for it because of his temperament, and the people that followed him, I think were probably felt indebted to him to present themselves in a very professional and responsible way.
Yeah. We'll say a final word about this exhibit. It's called, again, The Souls of the Game, Voices of Black Baseball. And Ozzie Smith helped put it together. We'll say another word about that before I lose him at the top of the hour. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
What's your quarrel with the world? You're listening to Tavis Smiley. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Hey, bills happen. So when you need extra cash fast, go to billshappen.com. Have you been turned down? Are your credit cards maxed out? Do you have bad credit? Go to billshappen.com. All you need is a job and a checking account. You can find a lender and get up to $5,000 cash as early as tomorrow at billshappen.com. Billshappen.com is the smart way to get a personal lender now. So if you need extra money for car repairs, medical bills, family emergencies, whatever you need cash for, go to billshappen.com and you can get the money you need as soon as the next day, up to $5,000. At billshappen.com, our process is safe, secure, and all online. No one to deal with in person. And Bills Happen does not charge you any fees to use our service. It's easy. When you need a lender, just remember, when bills happen, go to billshappen.com. Billshappen.com for the cash you need now. Billshappen.com.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
Less monologue, more dialogue. Tavis Smiley continues right now.
Yes, indeed. Just for 3 minutes left here with Ozzie Smith. Ozzie, take me inside the exhibit. We know it's called The Souls of the Game, Voices of Black Baseball, but give me some insights about the exhibit itself.
Well, I mean, the exhibit, I think, takes us all the way back to guys who played in Cuba, starting all the way back. And I think that a lot of people aren't aware of where and how the game really got started and how Black people got involved in the game. Now, here again, it's about a way out for all of us. There's an entertainment element to it as well. We've always entertained people, and this was really kind of the way that we entertained each other on Sundays after church. People were going back to the days, and you'll remember this, Tavis, of you got clean. You went to the ballpark, you were dressed to the nines. And so it talks about all of the pride and everything that we as African Americans took in the game, and it's all about the excellence and the professionalism that we've been able to bring to it, and we continue to bring to it, not at the same numbers that we would like, but the guys that are playing this that are African American players, I think to this day understand the importance of going out there and presenting themselves in a professional manner and playing the game at a very high level and a certain degree of consistency.
Yeah. I'm glad that you were involved in putting this together. We owe a debt to these great Black baseball players, and I'm glad to see them get their just desserts in this exhibit called The Souls of the Game, Voices of Black Baseball. I got just about 45 seconds left for Ozzie. For those who never heard the story, but been fans of you for all these years, where did the backflip come from?
As a kid growing up, spending a lot of time outside, I grew up across the street from where they used to build pallets. We always had plenty of sawdust. So we used to go over and tumble in the sawdust. And on Thursdays, I used to go to Family Fun Center, which had trampolines in the ground. And I learned to tumble that way. Spring training, 1978. I was running 2 miles after we finished working out, which I wasn't very fond of. I was at the back of the pack, and the old guys gave me a hard time about being a young guy at the back of the pack. I did my round-off backflip to impress them, which I did. I had a teammate that had girls that were involved in gymnastics, and he thought it would be a good idea for me to do it. He and the PR guy thought it would be a good idea for me to do it going out to my position. the final day of the season, which I did, and lo and behold, it became a trademark.
And the rest, as they say, is history. The Ozzie Smith backflip. He is a Hall of Famer. He earned his way in, one of the greats to ever play this game, and one of the persons to help bring us this exhibit, The Souls of the Game, Voices of Black Baseball, ahead of the induction ceremony at Cooperstown Sunday, July 27th. Ozzie, again, you brought me so much joy in my life, and this conversation has brought me even greater joy. Thank you for your work, and thank you for this conversation, sir.
Tavis, thank you, and thank you for your work.
Thank you, my friend. Back here tomorrow, Lord willing, to do it all over again. Until then, as always, keep the faith.
KBLA.